Hello everyone, Jackie. I was like instantly disconnected and then reconnected, but hello, here I am on a finally slightly cooler morning. So I am just relaxing, soaking in the not boiling hotness, and thinking about who I am. So my title of today's video is, do you know who you are? Because, it's been amazing. So, one of the things that I've talked to quite a few people about recently, and God, I work on this all the time myself, is like, it's people pleasing. And, like, underlying the people pleasing, it's basically a lie. So, we're lying to somebody else, trying to make them happy, and we're lying to them because it's not something we want to do. So when we're people pleasing, it means we're doing something that we don't want to do because we think it's going to make the other person happy. Now, that's lying because we're acting like we want to do this thing when we really don't want to do this thing. And a lot of that, I think, stems from like not taking the time to really get to know ourselves. And a lot of that is because it's super scary. It can be like super scary, first of all, to like know who we are, because then we have to think, well, am I actually being who I really am? Because a lot of times, like for me, for so long, like I didn't even realize I was people pleasing. I thought I was just like nice and helpful and all that crap. And really, I am nice and I am helpful, but I don't want to always do all the things that everybody else wants to do. And I don't want to, pretend to be excited to go out when I'm not excited to go out. I don't want to do things that I don't want to do. And I thought I had to, because that's who I was. But really, it's getting to know ourselves, like quite deeply, and knowing this is what I want to do, this is what I don't want to do, this is who I am. And the next step then is who I am allowed to share with other people. And that's the honest thing to do. Because if I tell them, no, I don't want to do that thing, then that's being the real me. And that's being truthful to them. Then they can go out and find somebody that wants to do that thing with them or wants to do whatever. Instead of me lying to them and saying I want to do it when I don't really want to do it, and then kind of not really having a good time. And then you can always feel those vibes of somebody that doesn't really want to be there, but they just said they'd be there just to like make you happy. Like, we know what that feels like to be on the other end of it. Why do we want to do that to other people? And often it's because we're trying to like hide who we are, because we're worried people won't like us. And it's okay almost if, we're pretending to be somebody different and they don't like that person, because that's not the real us. So that we're kind of like, oh, that's a bit safer. Whereas if we really know who we are and we really step into that and fully own it, and somebody doesn't like us, then it can feel really hard, because it's like, oh my God, I was like totally 100% the real me and they didn't like me. That means they didn't really like the real me. Whereas if I'm only like 50% the real me and they don't like me, it's like, oh, it's because they didn't really know me. And it's okay then. But if we really show up as our full 100% self, it leaves us open to be really vulnerable. Because that's us, 100%. And if somebody doesn't like it, it hurts. But that's also a blessing, because if somebody doesn't like that, then you know that and you can move on, because there will be people that like you 100% and they want you to be real and they like that real you. But when you're pretending all the time, you're not giving them the chance to like the real you. You're not giving yourself the chance to find those like 100% matches. You're like floating around and like, oh, we're kind of like 50% like each other, because we really only know 50% of each other, because we're just pretending to be these people. But it's kind of safe here because I can't really get hurt too badly. And, we're all kind of just floating along middle ground, like mostly happy-ish, kind of like, meh, whatever, this is how it's supposed to be. And that's just holding us back from so much, like so much fabulousness in our lives we miss out on, because we're like floating around in that middle ground instead of being like 100%. So I am 100% fabulous in me. Then yes, I turn some people off. Some people can't handle my fabulousness. Other people, fucking love it. So bring on those people that fucking love it. They would have been bored stiff by middle of the road me. But I can attract those people that fucking love me 100% for who I am. And we can have a fabulous time together. All those people that can't stand fabulous me, they're going to drip away. And I don't really want to be friends with them because I was probably bored to death with them because we didn't really mesh well. Even if they're people that I've known for my entire fucking life. We can still be friends. We don't have to hate each other. We don't have to say bad things about each other. We don't have to whatever. We just don't have to hang out. Unless we do find something in common when we're 100% our real selves. Then we can do it. And yeah, I think because we're not taught this at all, we're taught be kind, be pleasant, make sure everybody likes you, make sure you're always helpful and wonderful and selfless and humble and blah, 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 blah. And we're basically taught from forever to hide who we really are and try to like be this model perfect girl, then this model perfect woman that society says we're supposed to be, that the patriarchy says that we are supposed to be. And then there's also like the flip side to that, because then it's like, oh, I'm a feminist. Well, I have to be the perfect fucking feminist. Like, this is what a feminist thinks. This is what a feminist looks like. So I have to be exactly this and think exactly these things. But we're not all the same. It's all a big spectrum. And if we're pretending like, I am the best feminist, I know everything about feminism, and you know, as a liberated woman, you have to do this and this and this and act this way. That's not true. Like, I find myself, first of all, not knowing a lot of things that I should know as a feminist, and not 100% jumping into everything. And I've seen so many different ideas, so many different opinions. And that's because we can all have different ideas, we can all have different opinions, and we can all still be feminists. We can all still be women. We can all still be whatever it is we want to be. If we fully step into ourselves 100%, then we will just vibrate with that on a different level. And on a truer, more honest, real level. And once we can all start doing that, I think once we can really embrace who we are, and so we can take the time to really get to know ourselves, and realize how fucking fabulous we are. Like, when you can really feel that deep down inside and be like, oh my god, exactly as I am right now, I'm fucking fabulous. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to lose any weight. I don't have to get any smarter. I don't have to take any more courses. I don't have to, change my hair, my clothes. I am fucking fabulous exactly as I am. And when you can really feel that, then you can realize, oh my god, and that fucking person is fucking fabulous exactly how she is, even though she has a different idea than me. And that's one of the things that's been blowing my mind. I'm like, oh my god, I thought people that thought differently from me, there was something wrong with them. Like, they were just wrong. Like, they just shouldn't think that, whatever. And now I'm thinking, well, they're fucking fabulous too. Because I don't know everything. I don't have all the fucking answers, and I'm still fabulous. So, yeah, they have a different opinion than me. Even if it's on like a really super serious topic. That doesn't mean that they're not fabulous. That doesn't mean that they don't have an innate worth. And I think that's where there's so much division in the world right now, is because we look at like left and right. So let's look at like pro-choice and pro-life. Like, they're like complete opposites, right? So especially as a feminist, we think, well, we should hate everybody that's on the other side. Like, I'm pro-choice because that's what feminists are supposed to be. And you can't be a feminist if you're not pro-choice. But what if you could? What if you could be pro-life and still be a feminist? Like, to me, that's fucking mind-blowing. But it's possible. And what if you could be pro-life and still be fucking fabulous? Just because you don't know everything. Because honestly, I think I'm right. I think pro-choice is, like, the right answer, of course. And honestly, I can't see... Well, of course I can see why you would think pro-life would be the right choice, because we've been indoctrinated from, like, a religious standpoint for thousands and thousands of years, and the patriarchal standpoint for thousands and thousands of years. So we've, like, got this indoctrination, this oppression. So of course there are people that are, like, pro-life, because that's what they've been, like, taught. But that doesn't mean there's something wrong with them, that I have to hate them. that I can't love that person and recognize the fabulousness within them, the worthiness within them, and recognize that worthiness within me, even though we have different ideas and different ways of living our lives and different values. We are still all 100% fabulous, 100% worthy. And I think that's the only way that we can like come together and find the higher purpose. And because as long as we're fighting and hating each other and thinking somebody's right and somebody's wrong and you're not okay, and basically like who you are is wrong because you don't believe what I believe, nobody's ever going to change your mind. Like, I'm not going to go up to some pro-lifer and be like, you suck as a person. You are a bad person. You should change your mind. And they're going to be like, oh my God, you're so right. Like, that's not how we create change in the world. But that's what I see so much around me. Whereas if we truly sink in there and know I'm fabulous. Some of my ideas are right. Some of them might be wrong. I might not be fully educated in all areas, but I'm still fabulous. So that other person can still be fabulous, but they're just not educated in all areas. They don't know all the answers, just like me. And what if I learn to be more understanding, compassionate, and loving about it? And I approach them from that way. And we're able to share our ideas together, even though they're super different, without that hatred and the vitriol. And we can come together and for me, I just keep thinking, well, if we just come together and share from that like loving, connected place that I feel when I feel like, oh my God, everybody's fucking fabulous, of course. And if we could all feel that about each other, we're so much more open to hearing the ideas and opinions of the other side. And I think that's how we fucking change the world. Not through proving my point is right, but through proving we are all connected, we are all fabulous, and let's work on some solutions together. All right. So, that's all I wanted to say today. That's actually way more than I wanted to say today. I didn't think I would get quite into those topics, but that's what came up for me. So, for me, the most important thing in saving the world and changing the world is changing myself. And not changing myself, but connecting deeply with my true self. And taking away that people-pleasing pretend front that I put on and being 100% the real me. Because when I can 100% love the 100% real me, then I can love everybody at their 100% full selves. And know that we are all fucking fabulous. So let's work on that and change the fucking world together. With love and connectedness and awesome fabulousness. All right. I will see you tomorrow.